Hello, I'm Dave Mills, Technology Librarian here at the West Wyandotte branch of the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library. One of the more popular reference questions we receive is, can you get me a rental agreement? Or can I get durable power of attorney? In other words, we have many patrons who need legal forms. Well, with the library being closed during the pandemic, we are unable to do the personal one-on-one reference question. But allow me to introduce you to Gale Legal Forms, where you can download your legal forms online. Okay, before we start this tutorial on Gale Legal Forms, I'd like to provide this disclaimer. First, the purpose of this video tutorial is to demonstrate the availability of legal forms from the Gale Legal Forms database, and this is a subscription service made available through the Kansas City, Kansas Library e-community. Staff members of the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library do not have legal training and cannot offer legal advice. The products offered by Gale Legal Forms are not a substitute for the advice of an attorney. And finally, by downloading forms, you agree that the forms may only be used for your personal use and may not be sold or redistributed without the written consent of Gale Legal Forms. If you do have a question about using the Gale Legal Forms database, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Library at 913-295-8250 and request to speak with a librarian. Okay, Gale Legal Forms is another one of our versatile databases that we offer through the KCKPL e-community. And this purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to get there and to demonstrate some of the assets that are available in this database. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off by opening up our browser. I am using Mozilla Firefox. And then you'll want to go to the library's homepage. And again, that address is www.kckpl.org. When you arrive there, you'll want to click on the e-community link, which is towards the top of the page. And that'll open up some of the services that the e-community offers, including Access 360, Flipster, Freegal Music, which is a brand new service that we're offering. And then if you scroll down, we have Canopy and also our yearbook collection. But we want to go ahead and click on the Databases Alphabetically link. And that'll open up another tab at the top of your screen. And then even though we're using Gale Legal Forms, from the listings of the alphabet right here, we're actually wanting to click on the L, because that'll actually take us to where we want to go, which is the Gale Legal Forms database. And then once you're there, click on Legal Forms. Another tab opens up at the top of your screen, and then the Gale Legal Forms database loads for you. Now, the first thing that you see up in the upper left-hand corner is something that says Kansas Legal Forms. Now, the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library subscribes to actually two state databases, Kansas and Missouri. And so don't let the link below Kansas Legal Form, all state subscriptions, fool you. What that actually means is when you click on it, the Gale Legal Forms will give you a choice between Kansas and Missouri. And this is probably primary because of the fact that the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library serves the Kansas and the Missouri communities only. So anyway, but if you want to switch between Kansas and Missouri, just go ahead and click on the state that you want. So I'm going to click on Missouri Legal Forms here. And very slightly, you'll see that the page changes to Missouri Legal Forms. And of course, if you want to switch back to Kansas, click on All State Subscriptions, and then click on Kansas Legal Forms. And the Kansas Legal Forms will load for you. Now, the remainder of this column, I'll demonstrate a couple of these links here. Legal definitions is a very handy thing to have right here. If you come across a situation where maybe a lawyer uses some jargon that you're not sure of, you can click on legal definitions and then perhaps look up what that term may mean. So, for example, I'm going to click on the B here. and I get a listing of terms that start with the letter B. And let's say that I want to know what the word bequeath means. And so I'm going to click on bequeath. And then Gale Legal Forms returns the definition for me. And you can see the definition is bequeath is an act of giving an asset by terms of a will. And you can see the remainder of the definition there. So legal definitions is a handy feature in Gale Legal's database. Another link that you might consider clicking on here from the left-hand column is the tax forms link. And when clicked, that opens up a directory where you can download tax forms free of charge. And first of all, you can download from the federal level, and this is at the top right here. And there's a link where you can immediately download personal income tax forms, the 1040, the 1040A, or the 1040EZ. Also, you might choose to click on the Internal Revenue Services link right here, which will take you to the IRS webpage where you can download other tax forms that serve your purpose. Also on this page, though, there is a state-by-state directory where you can download state income tax forms. And so, for example, let's go ahead and click on Kansas. And what happens? The Kansas Department of Revenue webpage opens up for you, and then you can go, of course, go to the personal tax and then click on tax forms in order to download your appropriate tax forms that you need to prepare on the state level. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. And then another link that you might consider clicking on is the attorney directory. And we'll click on that. And basically, you'll get a state-by-state directory for attorneys that are available. So when I click on Kansas, that takes me to a page, and of course at the top you get a statement as to why you may need an attorney. But let's go ahead and scroll down to the practice areas, and you can see the various disciplines and practices of law here. And so let's go ahead and click on criminal law, and when we do, we'll get a directory of all the criminal lawyers that might help your cause. And once again, this is not a complete listing, and so if you are looking for a lawyer, you probably can call the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library, and we can refer you to other libraries in the Kansas City, Kansas area that might be able to have a better directory of lawyers. Let's go ahead and see other elements of this Gale Legal Forms page right here. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down slightly. And first of all, you can browse categories by the alphabet. And so, for example, if you know the area of law that you need to look up, you can simply click on a letter. I'm going to go ahead and click on the letter B here. And then if you scroll down, you'll see that the categories that are brought up starting with the letter B include bankruptcy and bills of sale. I'm going to go ahead and back out of that. And I'm going to choose another category. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and choose on M for Mary. And when I do and scroll down, it looks like I can look up legal forms for marriage or minors. I'm going to go ahead and click on minors and see what that produces. That gives me subcategories that I can examine here. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on claims. And let's see what we get here with claims. Okay. And it looks like this is a covenant not to be sued, or covenant not to sue by parents regarding a claim of their minor child. And this form is either in the Microsoft Word format or the rich text format. I'm going to go ahead and click on Microsoft Word. And this prompts me to open up Microsoft Word, so I'll click OK. And here's the form right here. And it looks like it's a couple pages long here. And then if you intend to type in this form, you will need to enable editing. And then you can click in the form fields and type in your pertinent information right here. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And I'm going to return back to the Gale Legal Forms page right here. And then if you scroll down further on the page, you can look for legal topics either by going to the main categories or going to the sample searches categories. And so right now we're on the main categories. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on family law. And you can see the subtopics here on family law. And so maybe one to look up is guardianships. So I'll click on guardianships. And once again, you get a subset of guardianship laws right here. And just like before, when you click on a link, I'll click on guardianship current assets. You can download a form by either choosing the Microsoft Word link or the rich text format link. Now, on the main page too, you might decide to do sample searches. And so when you click on sample searches, this is how it represents the topics here. It's all in alphabetical order here. And so let's take a look at something. Let's look at power of attorney. And I'm going to go ahead and click on power of attorney durable. When I do, here are my subcategories here. I'm going to go ahead and click on power of attorney healthcare living wills. And when I do, I get some subtopics here. And let's say I'm going to click on the do not resuscitate order. And once again, here's the same page where you can choose to download the form either via Microsoft Word or via rich text format. Now, another feature of the Gale Legal Forms page that you might consider is their popular legal form searches. And that's over here on the left-hand side right here. And these change every day based on what's popular. And so let's say that I'm interested in wills and estates. So I'll click on this topic. And then, of course, Gale Legal Forms loads the subtopics right here. And so I'm going to click on wills and estate planning. And it gives me subtopics to choose from. And I'm going to click on cash flow statement. And once again, you can choose to download via Word or rich text format. I'm going to open this one this time and click on Microsoft Word. And then remember, you'll have to enable editing once you open up the file. And then you can type in the appropriate data for this particular form. Okay, in concluding this tutorial for Gale Legal Forms, I'd like to remind you that it is also available for your smartphone through the KCKPL mobile app. And remember, you could download the app through the Google Play Store or through the Apple App Store. For further assistance with Gale Forms, give the library a call at 913-295-8250. Or you can access our website at www.kckpl.org. This is Dave Mills. Thank you for your time.